Hey, my name is Tim, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build a high converting and beautiful online shop using Shopify. Shopify is a great software to start your e-commerce business, to offer your services or products, and also to have a blog or a website. And in this video I'll show you from start to finish everything you'll need to have a profitable online shop. I'll show you how you can sign up for a 14-day test period on Shopify. Then I'll show you how you can find, install and design a theme. You will learn how to set up different payment options and how to accept orders. Then you'll learn how to set up taxes and shipping. I'll also show you how you can automate sending your invoices, and you'll learn a lot more. Basically, I cover all the basics of Shopify. So you will be able to build your first online shop and start selling in a matter of a few hours. Now, this is very important to note. This tutorial is not just a pure dropshipping tutorial. I will also show you how to dropship, but this is a more general tutorial. So I'll show you all the basics. That means you can build an online store with your own products, but in case you want to dropship, this isn't bad either, because I think you should really know how to do all these things, and I'll also show you how you can dropship. So everything is included. I also know that not every single step in this tutorial is going to be necessary for your online shop. That's why I put timestamps in the video description and in the comments. So if you want to skip a step or just go to a single step, you can look there and find the exact minute. So now that we did the introduction, I'm ready to start. I hope you are too. Let's begin. Let's start by doing the first step, signing up for Shopify. We can simply click on the first link in the video description. Why do I want you to click on that link and not go to Shopify directly? Well, there's two great reasons. The first reason being that you get a 14-day free trial over that link. So you can test out everything, build up your store, even start selling. And if you like it, you can keep Shopify. And if you're not happy with it, you can simply cancel. So that's pretty great. And the second reason is that if you click on this link, Shopify sees that I recommended them. And in return, I get a little commission from them. Now, that's at no extra cost for you, but it's simply a great way to support this channel and future videos. On this tutorial, I will probably spend about 1 week of work next to university. So if you use that link, you can support me at no extra cost and you get a 14-day free trial. Thank you for that. So I'll just click on this link and then I get directed to this site. And now we are on Shopify's page. And as you can see here, we have a 14-day free trial. To sign up for Shopify, we simply have to enter our email address. And then we have to click on Get Started. Then you have to set a password. This password will later on be used to sign into your Shopify account. So I would recommend choosing a safe password. And then you have to choose your store name. Since I will show you how to add a real domain later on, this step isn't all that important. But I would still recommend choosing a store name that is kind of similar to the product that you're selling. So if you, for example, want to create a cat store, I would choose something similar. The name cat itself would probably be chosen already, so you could just choose something like Cat Store 24. If you wouldn't add an external domain later on, your domain would look like this. Now in this tutorial I will also show you how to add an extra domain, so it would look like this, for example. And I would also always recommend that you add an extra domain, because if you don't have your full domain but only a subdomain, it doesn't look professional and it can scare away a lot of customers. And it's only like $15 per year, so that's pretty cheap. I would just choose a random name here, Cat Store 26, and then I click on Create Your Store. Great. Now they set up my store. So now we can tell them a little bit about ourselves. So are you already selling? Just choose one. I would just say, I'm just playing around, for example. No, you don't have to click any of that. I mean, you could, but I don't think that's necessary. And what is your current revenue? Like that. And then we can click on Next. Here you have to fill in some of your personal data. So first name, last name, address, apartment, your city, your postal code, your country, phone number, and maybe even a business website. I'm going to fill in this info and then I click on enter my store, but I'm just going to do a little cut here because I don't need my information public like that. Congratulations! This is the Shopify dashboard. You just successfully created your store. We can even have a first look on it by going to online store and clicking on this eye. And this is what your blank store looks like right now. Now, this obviously doesn't look good yet, but we can make it look good. And that's the next step. So I go back into the dashboard and click out of that tab again, and then we can start creating our site. This dashboard is basically split in 3 parts. On the right side, we have some current data, so total sales breakdown. And down here, we have some activities. These are just the activities from the sign up process. Now in the middle, there will also be some current data, but right now we can't see it. And on the left side, which will also be the main part we are going to work on, we have some options we can manage and customize. So we have orders or products, customers, analytics, which can be really great in Shopify, especially to analyze some of your marketing. Then we also have marketing, we have discounts, apps, and our online store. What we could do now is add a new domain, so we can click here on add domain, and then click on add domain. Then I click on buy new domain. Your domain maybe is already taken, so you have to get a little creative. I will just choose catstore26.com, which is still available and costs $14 per year, which is totally fair. Then I click on buy. And to buy it, I obviously have to fill in my credit card data, so I'll just do that right now and then click on continue down here. Then we can either check that we want to auto-renew this domain or we don't. I will just uncheck this because I will close this door after this tutorial. And then I can click on buy domain. Perfect. And as you can see here, we have to verify our email address in order to get that domain, so I will just do that right now. And here we have 3 mails. So once the bill, which I'm not going to open, then a registration email, and here we have to verify our email. So I click on that, and then I have to click on this link. You should do that too, because otherwise your domain won't get approved. And then I click on verify information. Perfect. Then I click out of here and out of here again. Then I can refresh this page. And as you can see, we have a domain. And that's how easy it is to connect a professional domain name to your Shopify store. Now that we did that, we can really get into designing our page. The first thing we'll have to do in order to design our page is go to online store and then go to themes. And here we can choose a theme. A theme basically sets up the design, layout, colors, and sometimes some effects of your online store. You can either go to free themes, or you can also browse in the theme store in order to buy a premium theme. In my opinion, the free themes are fully okay and are really functional because they were made very simple, which in my opinion is the best way to create a store. Very simple and very easy to shop. But if you maybe want a more professional theme, you can also go to the theme store. In this tutorial, we're going to use a free theme, which are also used on my online stores. So I just click on explore free themes. And here we have some free themes. There are basically 3 that I like. First, we have simple, Brooklyn, and minimal. In this tutorial, I'm going to use Brooklyn, so I click on Brooklyn. And here we also have 2 styles, so either classic or playful. Now I'm going to use classic, and then I can click on add Brooklyn. Perfect. As you can see here, the current theme is still debut, so we have to go to more themes down here. Go to Brooklyn, actions, and click on publish. Then I have to click on publish once again. And as you can see here, our current theme is Brooklyn. Perfect. Now we can click on customize. And in here we can work on the design of our site. If you look up here, you can switch between the desktop and the mobile view. which is really important because your site obviously also has to be responsive. So here you can always switch it up and look if it still looks good. So I'll go back to desktop right now. Here on the right side, there's always a preview page of your shop. And on the left side, we can edit everything. We could start by deleting one of these sliders. You probably can't tell yet, but there's two different sliders in here. Yeah, maybe you can see it in the background. So what we could do is go to slideshow on the left side. And as you can see here, there are two slides. So I can click on the second one, and then I can click on remove content. And now we only have one slide. I like it better. In case you want to add another slide, you can also go to add slide and use a second one. So I have to delete it once again because I only want one slide, but that's how you do it. In case you want multiple slides, you can also change up the speed in which they change. So you can make it 7 or 10 seconds. I'll leave it at 5. And you could also switch off the auto rotation. So it will always stay on one slide until the user clicks on another one. But since we only have one slide, it doesn't matter. I'll go back out of here again and do some more customization. And later on, we will also go back into this slide. So I can go down here, and here we talk about our brand. Then there's a collection list and a feature collection. Maybe I don't want the collection list. So I can go in here and I can delete it. So remove section. Perfect. And now it's gone. Here we have the feature collection. I could also go in here and edit it a little bit. Right now the grid style is set to college. We could also make a grid, which I personally like better. And then we have more products showcased on our homepage. Great. We could also change the title to our product. Perfect. Then I go back out of here again. Down here, they can sign up for your email list, which is really important. So I would leave that. And here's the most important step after you did any changes in your customizer. Always go to save up here. Otherwise you will lose your work. Now that we saved everything we've done before, we can go on and work on this a little more. I also want to delete this rich text right here. So I click on rich text and I click on remove section. And by the way, you don't have to delete everything I'm deleting here. You could also add a new section if you want to. There's a ton of things you could add. You can even add custom HTML. So you can really be creative in here and create a page that you like. I like to keep my stores very simple. That's why I do it this way. But you can use any of this and maybe even more if you have other themes. So be creative. Now I want to edit the background image of this slider. So I click on slideshow on this slide. Then I click on select image and on upload image because I didn't upload any images yet. We could also choose a free image up here. Maybe you find something good. I already have an image, so I go to upload an image and choose the one I want to use. This one, because it's a cat store. Perfect. I think that looks pretty cool. Then I can click on select. Great. We could also add an overlay, so any color we like, for example blue, and make the opacity higher, but that would just be a color, or even lower, so that it's just very slightly blue. But I don't think an overlay is necessary, so I go back to some kind of grayish and just put it to 10. Great. Here we have our text. So an introductory, hero banner. I'll just delete that, and the button text can also be deleted because I don't think a button is necessary. So we simply have this image in here. But in case you want to have the button, you can also fill in a link in here. So you can link a product, pages, or even whole collections. I will just delete the button and then I go back out of here again. The next thing we can edit is our header. Here you can see announce something here, so we can go on header. Here we can add a logo or a homepage logo. Currently this says Cat Store 26 because it's my store's name, but in case you have a logo you can go to select image and upload it. But I don't have a logo yet, so I go out of here again. But oh, by the way, in case you want to have a logo, what I could recommend you is Fiverr. They do really great logos. If you want to go there, go there. You can simply search for logo, and these are pretty expensive right now. But you can also price range up to $5. Let's go. And here you always find some great logo makers. So I also link them in the video description. If you want to check that out, they are pretty cheap and pretty good. I always do my logos there. So I go out of here. But here you could add a logo. Then we also have our navigation. This is right here. Search type. This is that. We could also set it to none, so you can search in there. And here you could also edit the menu, but we can do that later on. And here's the announcement bar. As you can see here, it says announce something here. Right now it's set to show. In case you currently have a promotion running, you could, for example, fill in your coupon code in here and it would change in here. But I don't need this bar right now, so I can delete it. And you could also say that it's only on the homepage or on all pages. But I don't want that announcement at all. You could also change up the colors in here and even fill in a link. But since we deleted that, we don't need it. So I can go out of here and then I can save it once again. Great, so what do we have yet? Up here would be your logo, in case you have one. Then here's a menu, which we can edit later on. Here's a big slider. Then here are some products, an email list, and a footer. That's perfect. That's a very, very simple store. As you can see, it's basically 3 sections, but that's enough. You really don't need more. Now let's go into the theme settings. So we can click up here, next to sections. And the first thing we can edit is colors. So we can click on colors. And in here you can edit all the colors of your online shop. So the general background, headings, body text, line color, and so on and so forth. You can also do this for the drawers. Now I will start by showing you basically the background, for example. We can go in here and scroll down, and then we can choose another color. Right now it's set to white. I could also choose red, for example. I mean, it looks terrible, but you can either go in here and drag it down a little bit and choose another color, or you can also fill in a hex code. So in case you already have some specific colors you want to use for your online shop, you can just go in here and fill in your hex codes. I will put it in right again, and I'm not going to explain every single one of these options, but you can simply, if you want to, go in there, check every single one out, test a little bit, and you'll see what they are for. Now, it would take way too long if I would go into every single one, and in most cases it already looks good. But if you have some specific colors you want to use for your shop, no problem, go in there and edit it. Then we can go back and we can go to typography. So we can go in here. It's split up in headings, accent text, and body text. And what we can do in every single one of these is change up the font. So in case you don't like it, you can go to change and choose one of these. There's a ton you can choose from, which is really great. But if I can give you one tip, it's to stay with 1 to 3 different fonts on one website. If you change it up too much, it will look kind of weird. So either just let it the way it is, because the designers of these fonts have really thought about it, or you maybe also have some fonts you want to use, then just choose them and you can do it in here. We can also change the base size and the thickness. So we can, for example, make it bold, and this will change to bold, as you can see here. We can do some of these settings in the accent text too. So if we scroll down, you will see subscribe is written in a capitalized text. We can uncheck this, And as you can see here, it isn't capitalized anymore. I will check it again, and that's basically it. We can also go into the body text and make it a little bigger. So maybe you saw it. It got a little bigger. Looks pretty cool. Mobile, yeah, still looks good on mobile. So I'll leave it that way. Perfect. Then I can go back out of here again. And the next thing is the cart page. Here it is important to choose page. Well, the reason, I don't know if it's still that way. Maybe you have to Google it. But when I chose drawer, I sometimes had some faults in the cart page. And friends of me had the same faults. So I would recommend choosing page. But you can also test it out. Maybe drawer works now. This has been in the past, so I don't know. Maybe it works, but I'm not quite sure. You can also enable order notes, which we can't see yet. But that's always just a preference. I will uncheck it once again and then go back. Great. Then we can add our social media. So we can click on social media. And here we can simply fill in the links of our accounts. So Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and they will appear down here. Now I don't want to add any social media, so I'll go out of this again. And the next thing is the favicon. I don't have a favicon for this store, but in case you have one. A favicon is this little icon right now. It's a Shopify icon, but here there's the Bang icon. Here's the Solo Learn icon. There's a little star. This is basically a favicon. So if you have one, you can go to select image and upload it. And I would actually recommend that you create a favicon or get one from Fiverr. I mean, you can get it for $5 because it looks a little more professional in my experience, even when I'm a customer. I think it's always a little suspicious if a store or a website doesn't really have a favicon because it doesn't look as professional, and I think it can scare away some potential customers. So I think it's worth the $5. If you have one, just select the image and upload it. And the last thing is checkout, but we won't change anything in here. But you could also edit the colors. So we can go back out of here again, and then we have to click on save. That's always very important. Now that we saved everything, we can go out of the theme settings once again. Perfect. And now comes the best part of designing your online shop, the settings. This part will probably be a little bit boring, but we simply have to do it in order to have a working online shop. So let's just get through it, and we will make it quick and easy. In case you want to have another language for your online shop, so maybe not English, but German or Spanish or whatever, you have to go on Actions under your themes and then go to Edit Languages. And here we can go to change theme language and then choose another one. Then you have to click on save. I mean, I won't do it now. And if you did it, here will always appear the left side with some English examples and the right side with the translation. So you can just go through them and check if everything is translated correctly, and do this for every single one of these options. So just go in here, check, okay, text is called tagged in English, and in German there will be another word. So just check if it's the right word. And then you always have to go on save. Since I didn't do any changes, I won't go to save. Then we can go to blog posts here on the left side. And I will show you how to create a blog post. So in order to create a blog post, simply click on create blog post. And blog posts are pretty great because you can get some organic traffic from Google or other search engines, which will basically be used for content marketing. On this blog post, you won't directly sell your product. I mean, you could too, but in most cases you will write about your product or a story or something like this, and then later on sell this product to your customers. Can work. I personally actually never did it because I always sold directly via Facebook, but you could if you wanted to. So you simply have to edit your title, and then in here you can write your text and use it like any other editor, like Word. You can use the formatting, make it bold, italic, underline it, and all of this stuff. Then you can add an excerpt, which is simply a little summary of the post that will appear on your homepage or your blog page. You could also upload a featured image, and once you did everything, you have to go on visible, and here's the author, blog, news. You could also create a new blog, and then you should fill in some tags, because your blog post will be found easier if you use some tags. You can also edit some of the website SEO, so you can change your page title, meta description, and URL handle. What I would focus on is the page title and meta description, but this is SEO, this is a complete other topic, so I won't go into that. But once you created your blog post and are happy with it, you can go to save. Then we have pages here on the left side, which are really important too. I will just go on leave page here because I didn't save anything. We actually have to add some pages to our store, so this is perfect anyway. Pages are very important on normal websites, but also on your online shop. So for example, you have a privacy policy, or maybe you're in Europe and you need an imprint, or you want to add your terms of service somewhere on your page. You can do that here. You can also edit an About Us page, or a page about affiliates. So you can simply go to Add Page, and like in the blog post, you have to fill in your title, your content, make it visible, page is right, search engine listing is the same as in blog post, and then you can go to save. This one I will just call About Us, for example. I could fill in a whole story about us, but I will just use some random letters. And then I go to save. If you want to create another page, you can simply go to create another page, but I will do it another way, so I go to pages once again, just to show you that if you're in here, all your pages will appear in here, so you can also always edit them later on. I will add another page, so I go to add page, and call this one privacy policy, edit some content, and then go to save. You could do that with as many pages as you want, but I'm happy with these two. And then we can go into navigation. As you can see here, we have a footer menu and a main menu. If I go on this eye under online store and open my online shop, you will see that this is the main menu, and down here is the footer menu. Right now there's no page edit in there, but that's what we will do now. So I go back in here, and I will go to main menu. As you can see here, we have home and catalog, and here's also home and catalog. So maybe I want to edit catalog, so I can go to edit and call this one our product. Then I can go to apply changes, and then I want to add another menu item. So I click on add menu item, name about us, link, I will click on that, choose pages, and then I use about us. Perfect. Then I click on add. And then we'll also add the privacy policy. So I click on add menu items, call privacy policy, click on link. And by the way, you don't have to choose pages. You can also link certain products, collections, your blogs, blog posts, or policies. I will choose pages once again, and then choose privacy policy, and then I click on add. Then I save the menu, and if I refresh this page, you will see that this menu is added. Maybe I also want privacy policy between our products and about us, so I can go in here, choose privacy policy, and drag and drop it between here, save the menu. We can also drag it to the right. And as you can see, there's products and there's privacy policy on the right. If I save the menu now, it will be a drop-down menu. So I can refresh this page. And as you can see, we have home, our products, and there's privacy policy. So that's another way to add pages or certain products to your navigation. in case you maybe have a lot of pages or want to structure it. So if you have our products, you could also list all of your products down here. Great. Now I go back, and the next thing would be domains, but I already showed you how to add a domain. So we can go into preferences. Here you can also edit your title and meta description. Like I said, that's SEO. Basically, you describe to Google what your store is about and who you are, so Google knows how to list you. I would actually recommend that you Google title and meta description online shop once and inform yourself what it's about, because it's a topic that's not unimportant, but it's SEO, so it's a complete another topic. So I won't go into that, but just make sure that you also look into that. Then you can add your Google Analytics and Facebook pixel. I also won't show you how to do that, but it's pretty simple. Simply Google Analytics Shopify or Facebook pixel Shopify, and you will find a ton of tutorials showing you how to add those. Then we also have our password protection. If we go on this store, you will see that our store is still password protected. That means if a customer goes onto your store, they can't enter it because there's a password over it. This has two reasons. The first reason is store isn't ready, so it's also better that it's still password protected, because otherwise maybe a customer would stumble upon your store and already buy, even though you're not ready. And the second reason is that we haven't picked a plan yet. Shopify wants you to pick a plan and enter your credit card information before you can unlock your store and really start selling. This doesn't mean that you instantly have to pay. You still have your 14 days trial, or in my case I only have 11 days left. So in this time you can start selling for free. But afterwards you already have a plan picked, so that's their intention to it. But like I said, this doesn't mean you have to pay instantly. You can also edit your credit card information and pick a plan, test it out for 14 days, and if you then don't like it, simply cancel and you'll get your money back. So I will actually choose a plan now, so I click on pick a plan, or you can also select the plan down here. Okay, here we have 3 different plans available. The basic Shopify, the Shopify and the advanced Shopify plan. I would recommend choosing the basic Shopify plan and later on upgrading to the normal Shopify plan. The main difference is the amount of staff accounts you can add and your credit card rates. In the past, I once calculated the numbers when you should upgrade, so I will add them somewhere on the screen right now. You can do the math too, if you simply work with that, but in most cases you can simply stick to basic plan and later on go to the advanced. So I will just click on choose this plan, and here you can decide whether you want to pay yearly, every 2 years, every 3 years, or every 30 days. I choose every 30 days because I'm going to delete that store afterwards, but you'll obviously save some money if you pay in advance. This is probably blurred right now because my credit card information is in here, but simply fill it in here and then you can click on start plan. On the right side you will also see when you will first be billed. In my case it's still some days away. And then I click on start plan. Perfect. Now we can go back into our online store settings once again. So I go on to online store and preferences, and down here I could disable the password, so I can go on here, save it, and then our store will be ready to sell. But since the store isn't ready yet, I will enable the password once again, and then we can go into the settings down here. Now this is going to be really fun because we have some settings to do, but this is all part of the process, so let's just do it. And by the way, I wanted to mention that once again, I'm just showing you how I build my stores. Obviously, you will have some different preferences, and that's completely fine. I'm just going to show you some of the basics, I would say. And Shopify is used by millions, or at least a few hundred thousands of merchants. So if you want anything else, just Google what you want, and you will find an answer to everything. So you can really be creative and do the things you want. Let's start by going into the general settings. Perfect. Store details. These are just some details, so you can change your store name. This is your account email and customer email. You can change your customer email, for example, so your customers will see another address if you email them. Then here's some personal data which I probably blur out right now. Here are some standards and formats. These simply have to be set to your standards and formats. For me, it's set to Berlin. Unit is metric system. Maybe you're in America, so you can choose the imperial system. Then default rate unit is kilogram. You can also set it to gram. It's always just your preferences. I would just choose kilogram. Prefix, the hashtag is okay. Store currency is euro. That's great too. So if you change anything, just go to save. So you could also choose some other currencies. Then I go back. And next are payment providers. So we can go in here. And this is a very important step because you have to choose your payment providers wisely. I would suggest using Shopify Payments, so you can click on Complete Account Setup and then fill in this list right here and complete your account setup. And I would also suggest that you use PayPal. Right now it's set to PayPal Express Checkout. In case you don't have a PayPal merchant account, it doesn't matter because Shopify will automatically choose the email that you signed up with as your PayPal account's email. And after you got your first payment, PayPal will email you and then you can set up everything under this email. So that's pretty easy. But in case you already have a PayPal account, you can go to Edit, then deactivate it. Click on Deactivate. And then you can choose Select PayPal method. Right now, because I'm in Germany, it's set to PayPal Express Checkout. Maybe you have another PayPal method, but I will just go on there. Then you can click on Activate and it will redirect you to PayPal. Here you simply have to fill in your PayPal email, go to Next. Right now it's set to German because it's my PayPal account. Fill in some information and you can set it up very easily too. Great. You could also add some other payment methods. So for example, Amazon Pay. And here's some other methods too. So you could take Bitcoin or GoCoin or some of these others. Now I will just leave it at these two. And then we can also choose the payment authorization method. Right now it's set to automatically capture payment for orders. I would actually choose manually. So you always have to capture the payment from your orders. It isn't hard. You simply have to click on 1 or 2 buttons for every order. But it makes things a little easier because sometimes you maybe don't want to accept an order because it maybe seems fraudulent or weird. So you can still not take the money and don't take this order. This makes things a little easier. But later on, if you maybe get a lot of orders, which I hope for you, you can choose automatically. So I can click on Save. Perfect. Now we can go back into our settings. And the next thing is Checkout. So I click on Checkout. And here we have some different settings. So customer accounts, we can disable them, make them optional or required. I would recommend choosing optional because it always leaves some space for your customers. Here you can choose whether your customers can check out using either their phone number or email. I personally always just used email, but if you want to have their phone number too, you could also choose your phone number. That's always just your store's preferences. Form options. So in your checkout, there will be a form where the customers have to fill in their data. So you can choose between requiring only the last name or requiring first and last name. Company name. In case you also want to sell to companies, you can make it optional. In case you only want to send to companies, you can also make it required. Or maybe you don't even want to sell to companies, so you can make it hidden. That's always just preferences. Address line 2, I will keep it optional. Maybe someone needs it. And shipping address, phone number, you can make it optional, you can make it required. I always had it hidden because I never needed their phone number, but you could add it in there. So order processing. If you check this box, the shipping address will be the billing address by default. I personally like that option because 1, it reduces the number of fields that is required to check out, which will make it easier to buy, so you have a higher conversion rate. And second, the billing address can still be edited, so that's no loss for the customer. Then you can require a confirmation step, so the customer must review their order details before purchasing. I always would leave that checked because otherwise you will have a lot of customers that filled in some wrong information and you send the package to a wrong person. You can also enable address auto-completion. For me, it worked pretty good, at least when I tested it. Maybe if you are in some rural areas, it doesn't work as great, but always just your preferences. I can tell you which one to choose there. Here you can also choose whether you automatically want to fulfill your order after it has been paid. Like in the payment process, I would not automatically choose that because you still want to look out for some fraudulent orders. So I will leave it at do not. Here you can also choose to automatically achieve the order after it has been fulfilled and paid. This can be checked. That's completely okay. Here's another option, email marketing. Can be really important and really effective. So if you check this box, there's a sign up option for your email list at the checkout. And if you also check this box, it will also be pre-selected. In some countries, it is forbidden to choose pre-selected, so I would maybe uncheck that. But having an email list can work very well, so I would suggest having one. Abandoned checkouts. You will probably have a lot of abandoned checkouts. So what you could do is automatically send them an email, which will be done if you choose this box. And then you can decide who you want to send it to. So either email subscribers or anyone who abandons your checkout. I would definitely not choose this one because I'm pretty sure that in most countries you are not allowed to do that. I mean, it is effective, but I wouldn't do it because it can be very expensive if you are caught. And then you can also decide when to send it, so maybe after 10 hours. I would just leave it at that. And here's the checkout language. In case you switch the language of your store, you can make sure that the checkout language is the same language as your store's language. And then we can click on save. Then we can go back into the settings. Now let's go into shipping. Up here is our shipping origin, which will probably also be blurred because it's my personal data. Then we have shipping rates at checkout. By default, Shopify creates two shipping rates. First, your domestic shipping rate. In my case, it's only in Germany, but in your case, it will be your country. And then there's the rest of the world. In case you only want to send to your own country, you can go to rest of the world, click on edit, and then just delete that whole zone. Click on delete shipping zone, and it's deleted. Perfect. Then we have our domestic shipping zone. We can just go into edit here and edit some of this. Perfect. Zone name, domestic. It doesn't really matter what you call it because your customers won't see it anyway. Then we have countries. Germany. Maybe I want to add another country. So in my case, Austria. And then I can click on add. Perfect. And now we have Austria and Germany. And then you have two options, price-based rates and rate-based rates. We could add a price-based rate, so I can click on add rate. And I can call this one, oh, and this is important, this will be seen by your customers, so I can call this one standard shipping. No, free shipping over 50 euros. Minimum order price, now we have to set it to 50. And no limit to the top, of course. Then we have to click on free shipping rate because it's free shipping. And then we can click on done. Perfect. Then we can add another rate. This will be standard. Minimum order 0, maximum is 50 because otherwise it will be free. And this one will cost $4.99. And then I can click on done. Perfect. And now we have two rates in here. Maybe you want to set your shipping prices after the rate of the products that you're selling, which is totally understandable. Then I wouldn't recommend using price-based rates, but rate-based rates. And then you can either edit them or add your own rates. So you can make a minimum order rate of, for example, 0 kilos and maximum order rate of 2. Name this one free and make it free. Then we can click on done. Then we would have to edit this one to 2 to 5. Done. So that's the way you can edit those. For this to be logical, we have to delete one of these because both can be applied. So I will just delete rate-based rates in here. and then we can click on Save. And now that we saved it, we can go back into Settings and Shipping, and we could add another shipping zone, because now we're only shipping to Austria and Germany. So we can click on Add Shipping Zone, call this one, for example, we want to ship to Europe. Countries, we can click on Add Countries, and then we can choose the countries we want to send them to. I will just scroll down until there's Europe, then I choose Europe, and I can click on Add. And now all these countries are added. Perfect. This time I want to have a price-based rate again. Free shipping over 50 euros. Minimum order price 50, maximum no limit, free shipping done. And the second one, standard shipping. Maximum 50. Rate amount 6.99. Done. Perfect. Then we can click on Save. Then I go back to shipping. And if we scroll down here, we could also add some pre-saved packages. I never really used it, but it can save some time. Here we have packing slips, but I won't go into that because that's just a bunch of code and you can maybe destroy some things if you don't know what you're doing. So I wouldn't recommend going in there. Then we have additional shipping methods. Here we could add some FedEx or UPS apps that will calculate the cost for us, but this isn't included in the basic Shopify plan. And here you could also add your custom fulfillment service. So if you use an external fulfillment service, you can fill in the email and the name, and then it will be forwarded. So that's the shipping settings, and then we can go back into the general settings and go to taxes. If we check this box, taxes will be included on all of your prices. So if you want to charge taxes, you should definitely check this box. If you're not from the US but want to charge taxes on your shipping rates, you have to check this box too. But if you're in the US, it will be made automatically. As you can see here, the country tax rates are set to 0, but in my case, the exception is Germany because they know that I'm in Germany. It will probably be at 0 for your country too. So what I would recommend is going into every single country that you're selling to and then setting the right country tax. That's also why I recommend that you should maybe start by selling in your home country and later on expanding to worldwide, because things like taxes can get quite complicated, especially if you sell a lot, because then you also have to pay taxes in other countries. So after you did all this, you obviously have to go to Save. So that's already how you can enable your taxes. And in case you sell digital goods, you have to click on Enable here to enable the European digital goods VAT tax rates. This is basically that you always, no matter how much, have to pay your VAT in the state that you're selling to. So maybe you should look into that or click on Learn More if you're selling digital goods. So I can go back to settings, and the next thing is locations. Here you can manage the places you stock your inventory in, which will be pretty good, especially if you're growing a lot and have multiple locations. Right now, this is only my shipping origin, but you could add a new location here. Call this one whatever. This example is called Paris Warehouse. Fill in the address and then you can save it. I will go back and back out of here. And the next thing is notifications. So we can click on there. And this is actually pretty great. After you confirmed an order, this will be sent automatically to your customers, or a cancellation or a refund, and all of these. So what we can do is go in here and check if you like it. Maybe you don't like something that's in there, and then you can change it. So the email subject is order name confirmed. Maybe I want my store's name in front of order. And here in the email body, you have the text. Now you can't delete everything and simply write in there, because this is code. All of this in these brackets is code. So we can only change what is real English text. You could also translate it to your language. But since this is an English store, this isn't necessary. But I actually recommend that you don't do too much, because it's really easy to destroy this code and then it won't work anymore. So I click on leave page. But you could do this with all of these. Great. Here you also have order notifications. So every time a new order comes in, you will get a new mail to your email address. You can also enable desktop notifications, which I recommend because it's pretty cool. Imagine you simply browse the internet and all of a sudden there's a pop-up that says that you just earned money. So if you want that, you can click on enable desktop notifications. I would also recommend that you install the Shopify app, because you will always see your orders when you're on the go. And the app makes a pretty cool sound every time you do a sale. Yeah, so that's these settings. Then I can go back in here. And the next thing is files. So we can click on there. The only file I have uploaded right now is my background image. In case you want to upload more files, you can go on upload files. But this section isn't as important. So we can go back. And then we can go to sales channels. We only have one sales channel now, which is the online store. You could add another sales channel and then choose one of these. For example, point of sale, Facebook, Instagram. You can install a buy button on multiple websites or blogs. You can sell via the messenger. These are all unavailable, but in case you have a higher plan, I think you could use these. So this is a pretty cool option too. I will just stick to the normal online shop, but in case you want to sell via your Facebook shop or something like that, you can add a new sales channel here. Then I can go back into the settings. And the next thing is accounts. So I click there. Here's just some basic overview. So since when are we members, our current plan, our account status. Here they want us to upgrade our plan, and then there are accounts and permissions. So right now there's only one account, mine, but you could, in my plan, add 2 staff accounts. So you could click on add staff account, fill in their data, and if you want, you can check this bar and they have full permission on your online shop, or you could uncheck it and then you can edit the permissions they have. This is pretty great for your employees. Then we can go back. We can also go in here and edit the store status. You could hire a Shopify expert, which can be pretty good too. What is also interesting in here is pause your store or close your store. So if you want to take a break from your store but not close it entirely, you can pause it and then you have to pay a lower fee every month. You could also close your stores. So maybe you say after these 14 days that you don't like it, which is completely fine. Then you can simply go into your account settings and then close your store. Then there's also billing. This is just your billing information, which I probably blurred out right now, and your account summary. So every bill you received before. In case you have credit, you will also see it in here. And then there's legal. Here you can manage your store's legal pages, so your refund policy, your privacy policy, terms of service, legal notice, and shipping policy can be filled in here. Or you can use a template, which is probably not that safe, so I would recommend going to a lawyer, but that's always up to you. And then we simply have to click on save. Perfect. So that's all the settings we could do. Congratulations, we did the most boring part. And now we can go on and create our store. So I will just go to home once. Now let's start adding our first products. So we can either go on add product in here, or we can go to products on the left side. In here, all your products will later on be listed. Right now we have to add our first product, so I go to add product. And then we can give our product a title. In this case, I will call it automatic mouse toy. Then we can add a description. I will just add some dummy text like that. And we could also format it a little bit like we want. and as you know it from Word or any other text editor. So make sure that your description looks good. Okay, something like that. Then we can add images. So I can click on Upload Image, go to where I saved it, and in this case, I want to add this, and this picture. And this one. If you just want to add one picture, you can click on it and then click on Open. But I want to upload all of them at the same time, so I can simply click on Gray, Most Main, Black and Brown, and then I can click on Open or Upload. The big picture on the left side will be the main picture that is shown. If you want another picture, you can simply drag and drop it over there, and maybe you want to switch up the order, like that. You can simply drag and drop it. You can also preview the picture, and you can edit the alt text, which will be better for SEO. So for example, gray mouse toy, and then I click on done, or you could also delete them. Great. Now we have pricing. Let's make this one $6.99. We can also add a comparable price. So later on it will say now $6.99. You save from $10.99. So it will be the old price that we're showing here. Charge taxes on this product, yes or no, depends on if you want it. Inventory. You can add an SKU if you want to, or you could also add a barcode. Then inventory policy. Here you can decide whether you want Shopify to track your inventory. You can say don't track the inventory, or you can say track the inventory, and then you can say how many items you have. For example, 1,200. You could also check this box if you want to allow customers to purchase this product when it's out of stock. Maybe you can also dropship the product, or you have a very fast supply chain, so you can simply sell it even if you don't have it at the moment. In case it is not a physical item, you can uncheck this box, but it is a physical item, and then we can add the weight, maybe 1 kilogram. So if you have rate-based shipping rates, Shopify knows how much to charge. Then you could also add a fulfillment service. Right now we only have set Shopify, but in case you have another fulfillment service, for example Amazon FBA, you can also decide which one you want to use. Then we can add variants. So maybe, like in this example, we have multiple colors or multiple sizes. So we can click on add variant. First one is color. And then we can fill in different colors. So brown, and after each value you have to make a comma. So brown, gray, and black. And as you can see here, we have brown, gray, and black. And we could also edit the price for each of these, add an SKU or a barcode, and we could also change up the inventory. So we maybe have 200 of those, 200 of those, and 200 of those. Here you can also see what your product would look like for search engines. So this is the link, and this is the short text that is shown. We could also edit it and change the meta description. So this will be seen in here. I will not do it right now, but you could also edit the URL handle to make it shorter, for example. Great, now we can scroll up again, and on the right side we can also edit some things. Organization, product type. Right now we haven't set any product types, so I will just add one, and I would recommend that you add every single product into at least one product type, because it makes it a lot easier to manage your products this way. So this one will be toys. Then I click on add toys, and it's in there. In case you know your vendor, you can also fill in your vendor in here. So if you have a lot of products, it's very easier to find out who's your vendor for this exact product, and later on buy some new stuff from him. Then we can also edit collections. This will also make it easier to find the product in your store. Right now we only have one collection, which is called homepage. We could also add new ones, but since I want to have this product on the homepage, I will make it homepage. Perfect. And then we can also add some tags. so it will be easier to be found in your online store in case you have that little search bar in your header or in your footer and someone searches for a product. So for this one, we could maybe add the text toy, comma, mouse, comma, cat, automatic, comma. Perfect. And then we have added our first product. Then we can click on save. So now we can have a look on our store. So I can click on this eye under online store. And if we scroll down here, you will see that this product is added to our products. I can click on it. And as you can see here, we have these different options. We have our title. We have this price and the old price, tax included, different colors, and this description. Now I want to go back in here and edit it a little more. So we can go in here, scroll down, and for example, picture. We don't have a picture set for brown. So I will click on this and then choose this image, click on save, click on this and choose gray. And click on black and choose the black picture. Awesome. Now this has been saved. We can refresh this page. And since it's set to brown, the brown picture appeared if I click on gray. The gray picture appears, and if I click on black, the black picture appears. So that's way better. Now this looks awesome. Let's get back into this product. And then we could also add a second product. So I'll just go back to products. Then I click on add product. This one will be called laser pointer. I will add some dummy text. Format it a little bit. Now I will just upload basically 2 of these images just to show you one more example. Then we can set the price to $10.99 and comparable price is $20.99. Charge taxes on this product, yes. No stock keeping unit and no barcode. Inventory policy. Shopify tracks this product. Let's make it 600. And we won't allow customers to purchase this product when it's out of stock. Shipping, it's a physical item and 0.5 kilograms. Fulfillment service is Shopify. Great, let's just add the organization once. Product type, toys. We already have toys, so that's perfect. Vendor, no vendor. Collections, we want it on the home page too. Tags, mouse, and cat, for example. And this is also why I show you a second product, variants. Now we won't just add one variant, but we will add 2 of these. So one is size. So S, M, L, and XL, and then we can add another option. So right now we only have the size. Other option is color. So brown and gray. Perfect. And as you can see here, we have all these options. So S in brown, S in gray, M in brown, M in gray, and so on. Then we can manage the inventory. So maybe it's 50 of each. Then we could also edit the page title, meta description, and URL and handle, but I don't need to do that now. And then we can also add this one. So that's also important. Maybe you sell t-shirts and want to have multiple options. We can even add a third option, for example, material. But I will trash this right now, and then I can click on save. Oh, I probably made a mistake. Rate is not a number. Oh, I didn't add a rate. 0. Oh, I think I made a comma instead of a point. So That might be it. So save product. Now it is created and I can have a look on our site once again. Perfect. Here it is. SML, XL and gray. And we could also go in here and choose one picture for every product like we did in the last product. So that's how you can add your products to your store. The next way to add products to your store will only be interesting to you in case you dropship. If you're not a dropshipper, you can simply skip this step. Like I said in the video description and in the comments, there will be timestamps, so you don't have to watch it if it's not interesting to you. Because now I will show you how you can import products from AliExpress. So what we have to do in order to save some time is go to apps, go to visit Shopify App Store, and then we can search for Oberlo. Oberlo is a dropshipping plugin or app for Shopify, which saves us a lot of time when importing, managing and buying our AliExpress product. I click on Add App. Then I click on Install App. And it is installed. Perfect. What we have to do then is open a new Chrome tab, which is important that you use Chrome, and search for Chrome, Oberlo, extension, or simply Oberlo. Then there's this. And as you can see, it has 300,000 users, and we can click on Add or hinzufügen in my case. And I will install the Chrome extension too. Perfect. Now the Oberlo importer is installed on my browser. And now we can close this even and go to AliExpress. We could simply search for a cat product and find something we like. As you can see here, the Oberlo plugin is working and it shows us which products have ePacket, so faster shipping, and some other things. If you want a real in-depth tutorial of Oberlo, Google it, or maybe I will do one later on, but I don't think so. So just Google Oberlo tutorial and you find a ton of those, but I will just go through the basics. So let's just say I want to import this bed. We can either just go on this button and it will be pushed into our order list, or I can look at it once, see if I like it. Looks good, has some options, has one size, and then I can go back in here, click on this button, and as you can see, the product was successfully imported into our list. Then we can click on Open Import List, and it will automatically open the Oberlo app. And now we can work on this product. The title will be taken from the original title. So we obviously have to shorten it a little bit and make it fit. So I will just call it cat bed. Collections. Here we can choose one of our collections. Type, I will just call it bed. Tags, cat bed, sleep. Then we can go into the description up here and we can also work on that. Oberlo will just import the description from this product. So what we can do is work on it a little bit. Type, cats, material 100% cotton. And like in the previous products, you obviously have to make it look good and write a text that will sell the product. I will not do it right now, but you can do it all in here. Then we can go into variants, and this is important. Here you have to go through all of these variants to make sure that you like it. So I would, for example, delete the numbers after the colors. Size is okay, it's only one size. Ships from China. Maybe I would delete that. Then the cost. This is just the real cost that you have to pay when you're buying it at AliExpress. so you don't have to do anything in here. Then you also have your shipping cost for whatever country you're using. And here we have the price we're charging. Oberlo automatically suggests a price, so in this case I think they just doubled the price from AliExpress, but here you can choose one price that you really want to sell it at. So maybe $19.99, but in order to save time, you don't have to do it in every single of these options. You can go to change all prices, set new value, and this time choose $19.99. Click on apply, and all of these prices were set to $19.99. It also calculates your profit, which is pretty cool. And in case you want an old price, like in the previous products, you can also do it in here. So set new value, and it originally cost $25 US. Then we can go into images up here and choose the images we want to use. This would be the main image, and these are the images for the colors. Perfect. We could also choose other images that we also want to use, but I think these are good. In case you don't want to use an image, just click on minus and it will be removed. But I will add it once again, and then if you're completely happy with it, you can click on import to store. Cat bed is being imported, and it has been imported to our Shopify store. We could also edit the product on Shopify now when clicking on it, and in here you could also edit it. Now we can have a look on our website, and here it is. Perfect. That worked out pretty great. Now, in case somebody buys the product, you can go into the Oberlo app. Oh, I will show you how you can go in here too. I will just close this, this, and this. So you go to apps. So I just refreshed this page, and then there's the installed apps. Then you can simply click on Oberlo, and it opens. And if you ever have an order for one of your products, you can go to manage orders, go to orders. In here will be the order. Then you can simply click on fulfill. Oberlo will automatically open AliExpress and the right product, add it to your cart, fill in your customer's information, so you just have to check if it's right, and then you can buy it. So the process of buying via Oberlo takes like 10 seconds instead of 2 to 3 minutes. If you have hundreds of orders per day, this saves a lot of time. Perfect, so that was the dropshipping part of this video. And now we can go into automating your invoices. I'll just go visit home once. When you get an order, you have to send your customer an invoice. I know that it's that way in Germany and most parts of Europe. It's probably also worldwide that you have to send an invoice. And then you have two choices. You can either print it out and send it in the package, or you can send the invoice via email. And now here comes the good part. In theory, you would have to type out or use some type of template to create each invoice manually and then send it to your customer. I will show you two apps which we can use and combine in order to do that automatically. This will save you a ton of time and a ton of money. So let's do it. We go to apps, click on visit app store, and then we search for order printer. And then we choose this green one here. It is free and even created by Shopify. So we click on add app, and then we click on install app. Perfect. And then we go back into the app store once again and search for the order printer emailer. And then we choose this one. This app is created by Forsberg and 2. So we click on add app, and it's also free. And click on install app. And since we're already in this app, we can start working on it. So we click on create emailer, and then we can create our first email. So we can give it another name, which will not be seen by a customer, but maybe it's easier to handle. So I will just call it invoice 1. PDF paper size. So you can choose between letter landscape, A4 landscape, A3 and A3 landscape. I will just choose A4. And then we have the template code. This template code decides what our invoice will look like. This is what our invoice would look like now. Up here is our store name, and then there's our invoice. You could also go into the code and work on it or create a whole another code. This is just HTML. I will just copy all this code once and fill it in here, for example. But I like it that way. So then we can go to next step. And here we can decide with which notification we can send our invoice. Now it's set to shipping confirmation, but we could also use the order confirmation or the order status page or one of these. I would choose shipping confirmation or order confirmation. That's up to you. In this case, I would just use the order confirmation email. Link text. Here we can decide what the link in the email would be named. Click here to download your PDF receipt. Seems good. And here's a demo of what it would look like. So I like it that way, and then we can go to next step. Then we have to copy this code here, and then we have to fill in this code in our order confirmation or whatever email you want it in. So I will just click on this button, and then we are in here. Here we can edit the text. What I would recommend is putting your invoice somewhere at the bottom. So I will just click in here and search for footer, and in here we have the footer. Then I can scroll down, and here it says, if you have any questions, reply to this email or contact us at, and then our store email. So we can just fill the code over here. I think it's in a pretty good position in there. Just make sure that you don't destroy the code and that it's in a somewhat good position. But in here, it's good. Then I click on save. Now our order confirmation automatically includes our invoice. And by the way, the invoice is always right. It takes the prices, it takes the product from that order. So everything is automatic. You don't have to do anything with the invoice. What we have to do now is go back into apps. I will just refresh it. And then go to order printer, because now we set up the invoice for your customers, but you also need the invoice. That's why we go to order printer, go to manage templates, and then we can delete that one. Maybe you need the packing slip, but what I would do is click on add template. Give this one the name invoice 1. And here it's very important that you fill in the same code that you use in the order printer emailer. So I will just copy that and fill it in. Now that's all in one bracket, which doesn't look really good, but it works. So it doesn't really matter. Then I click on save. And now we have invoice 1, even though it's spelled wrong. And then we can click on print by default. And that's all there is to it. Now your invoices are sent automatically and downloaded automatically for you. So you can do your bookkeeping in the right way. That took like 5 minutes, but now you will save tons of hours because you don't have to do it all manually. I will just visit home once again. And now we are ready to test out our store. So to test our store, we have to go to settings and then to payment providers. You probably already set up a payment provider, but you just have to deactivate it once and change your provider. And then you can click on third-party credit card provider, select your provider, go to others right here, and then choose for testing bogus gateway. Then we click on continue. Here you can read that too. And we will just test our store with it. So we can click on activate. And now it's activated. So I'll open our store once again. I will just buy one of these and one of these mouses in gray. Then we could also go in here and maybe buy 2 mouses and then update our cart. And as you can see, that worked. So now we can go to the checkout. And this is the checkout process. Here you have to fill in your email. Here your customers can sign up for the email list. Then your first name and last name, address, apartment, postal code. I will just fill in some dummy information. And then I can click on continue to shipping method. It already set the standard shipping because it fits to these products. And then we can click on continue to payment method. Perfect. Here we have our credit card. So I'll test an order that doesn't go through. So I'll choose number 3. Cardholder name is Bogus Gateway. Month and year just has to be in the future. So 10/22 and CVV just 3 random numbers. Here we could also add another billing address like we said that a few minutes ago, so that's great. Then we can click on review order. So that works. And then when we click on complete order, it didn't work because we set number 3 for error. So that's great. Now let's test number 1 for a successful transaction. Review order, and then complete order. Thank you, Tim. Your order is confirmed. You receive a confirmation email with your order number shortly. Perfect. So now your customers can buy from your store. It works. We could also click on continue shopping, and then we are back on our page. So that's great. Now we can go back into our store. Refresh the page. And as you can see here, there's an order. Wow. Let's click on it. Great. 1 minute ago, customer, Tim Wessels, payment status authorized and fulfillment status unfulfilled. We can click on this order. So let's go into the payment authorization. In case you set your payment method in that way that you have to manually get your money, you will have to get in here and click on capture payment. And then you have to click on accept. Great. Successfully captured 38.96 euros. Now, if you send that order, you can click on mark as fulfilled. Here you will see notes from your customer in case he had some. Shipping address and billing address is in here. You have some data about your customer, so their first order, first session was direct to your store. This is actually pretty great because maybe you have a customer that did his second order at your store. So maybe you can leave a little note saying thank you or something like that. Here you can also see that tax is included, shipping, standard 2 kilogram, all that stuff. And if you fulfilled it, then you can click on mark as fulfilled. And then you can add a tracking number and the shipping carrier in case you got one. If you don't want to send the shipment details to your customers, you can also uncheck this box and then you click on fulfill items. Then your customer will also get the shipment email. I will just open up the email that we just received from our store. Here. Cat Store 26. Order 1001 confirmed. Thank you for your purchase. Hi Tim, we're getting your order ready to be shipped. We will notify you when it has been sent. And down here, click here to download your PDF receipt. We can click on it. And here it is. This is the automatic receipt. I don't think it could go better in any way. And that's actually it. I don't want to show you any more because that's all you need to start your first store. My recommendation is keep it simple and sexy, and over time you can build out your store. The most important step is to just start and try a lot of things and products out. If you have any questions, just Google them. Shopify at the moment has over 400,000 active users. There's a ton of resources. You can also ask in the comments, I will probably get back to you. So that's no problem, you will always find an answer. If you like this video, leave a like so I will know, and the YouTube algorithm will also know, and subscribe because a lot more content will come. If you have any critique, suggestions or comments, leave them in the comments down below and I will get back to everyone. Thanks for watching, I'm glad we made it this far, bye.